Welcome back to another video, and today we will be trying out some new drugstore makeup. So let's begin this first impressions video with eyeshadow. So as you can see, I've already put on my foundation. We are still going with the Revolution Skin Silk foundation, though I will have to say I have almost used up the bottle, and considering that I think I have barely had the foundation maybe a full month and it's already running out. So yeah, I recently reviewed the foundation. It's on my on my review playlist. But if you're interested in how I feel about the foundation, but something now that when I sort of looked at the bottle this morning, I noticed that okay, we're almost running out, and I haven't gotten it that long. So another thing to think about if you're considering buying the Revolution Skin Silk foundation. But anyway, let's get actually now to the first impression products on this video. So eyeshadow palettes, we will start with this one. So this is the Reckless Romance palette. This was Beauty Bay's Valentine's palette this year. So it is a bit on the older side, though it is still like it has been released in the first half of this year, and this is how the palette looks like. So very on par with the grungy Valentine's theme we were having this year with almost every like Valentine palette that came out. And I have swatched this. I think the swatch party video is already up on my channel, so you are able to kind of see how the colors altogether look. But now it's actually quite nice to actually try this, how this performs on the eyes. And something you should like consider is that I already like swore off myself from buying these like limited edition palettes. I was like that I will just buy the permanent ones, but then this was released and I kind of was vibing with the color story, so when I was making a Beauty Bay order I just threw this into my cart, because from like drugstore eyeshadow formulas that are easily available to me, the Beauty Bay one is definitely one of the best. But what color are we gonna start with today? It is quite grey pinkish leaning. Let's first start with this one, so the color Fling in the upper corner, and I will do again this side of the eye for the camera and then the other one off camera. But let's start with the Fling as an all over the lid color, and let's go from there. I was actually not supposed to be filming this video today, but because we are still, there is still a package from a brand that hasn't arrived to me, even though they said so. If you have been on my channel for a while, you probably have heard me mentioning that I made P. order, and now it's almost like a full month from it, and I still haven't gotten my order, even though they apparently now have reshipped it with express shipping, and it should have already been apparently to was supposed to have already received it, but still nothing. The tracking says that it's not even in the country, even though they had last week when I emailed them. I have already like lost count how many times I've emailed by now to the P. customer service, and they said that yeah, I should be having it now soon, and it's still like the tracking shows. Like the tracking shows that it's at least, because on the original package that they shipped with the wrong shipping, because if you have heard this story that I originally paid for express shipping, which they didn't ship it to me, the original package, and with that one it never actually, tracking never updated. With this one the tracking at least shows that it has left that they have taken it in the transit in the UK, but after that it hasn't like still updated. So I think my next week's plan, like next week, is gonna be same like every other week, where the heck is my package, and I'm like pretty close right now at just filing with my bank and asking them to like refund it to my credit card, and like tell them that this has been like, I hate making fraud, like I wouldn't want to make a fraud claim, because I honestly now think that this is like just one of those orders that has gone wrong, because obviously the first P. order I made last year that arrived to me in the time frame it was supposed to arrive to me, and everything was alright and everything was packaged well. But at this point, like, because the customer service was also like that, oh yeah, we now shipped it, so I was already like asking that could I now just get a full refund, and they were saying that no, it's coming, but still the package isn't coming, and or at least it seems based on the tracking. So I'm just at this point thinking that if it doesn't, like, I think I will wait out Monday and Tuesday, because we did have one like bank holiday in the middle of the week, so no mail services were like going at that time. But if it's like beginning of the week, if the tracking still shows no update, I'm just gonna tell them that either they will refund me, or then I will go to my bank and ask them to refund me, because this is getting like ridiculous now that I've waited over a month for a package that has apparently now been shipped 2 times without without arriving. But yeah, that was like supposed to be, today's video was supposed to be like unboxing the P. Louise order that still hasn't arrived, but yeah. Yeah, so the first, but let's get now back to the Beauty Bay palette. Sorry about the rant, I'm just like very agitated because, I mean, I get it that with online orders stuff can happen, and stuff has certainly happened with my like orders before, but usually it has been because of the postal services in our country that there's been a strike or they have done some system changes which has caused delays, but at least I have known that the package has been like in our country because I've been able to see it. But this is like now the first time that I've had the issue that they have said that they sent the package but the tracking doesn't update, so yeah. But anyway, about the first shade, I think the Fling blended out nicely. I think it's the same Beauty Bay matte quality that their other mattes have been. Then let's go to the next shade. I think we will be using, there aren't like too many dark shimmers, so I think with this one we'll be doing that. I will be using like 3 shades to see how they, 3 matte shades to see how they blend in the lid, and then use a 1 shimmer all over. Now I think for the mid-tone shades I'm looking at, and I'm thinking that we will use this front row, so this sort of an, is it a pink or is it lilac? It's like, I'm blanking, I know this sort of fuchsia I think is the color that this is supposed to be called. So fuchsia pink over here, so let's use it and see how it will blend in with our first shade. And I do have to say that like if you live in Europe or in UK, I do think that the Beauty Bay, like for me, I think it is like the better quality you can get here in terms of drugstore makeup. Of course they don't have like in-store. Oh well, I do think that they actually advertised that they did have a pop-up store somewhere in the UK, but obviously then you have to be prepared to order online. But I do think as an in-house brand it is one of the better eyeshadows available. This actually blended in quite, like I'm pretty impressed how easily that just went in with the first shade. Yeah, I'm pretty happy with that one. It's actually a bit strange, there's quite a lot of sunlight coming because we are now getting to the summer month, and I'm actually filming this quite late on from my usual Sunday schedule, but you can see really that the summer is coming based on how much daylight we're having, even though it's like somewhere around already 7 in the evening. Then for the deepening up shade, we have like a few grays, but I want to test out this one, so we will lastly use this from here, so Paparazzi, which is this darkish, I think it's like a, it's either gonna be a wine red or really like reddish dark brown, but we shall see how it will be on the lid. Yeah, that's actually working out quite nicely as a deepening up shade. I'm not, I think if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that I am not a fan of having like full on black on my like outer corner. I can occasionally if I want to do a smoky eye, but usually I don't like having like a black. I prefer a dark brown or like almost any other deeper shade, but full on black is not my favorite. Yeah, that's, I think that's going on there quite decently. We'll have to be cleaning up a little bit off camera, but I think we're on a good, yeah, I think we're in a good start. So far, like everything seems to be working quite well. Now for the shimmers, I did say when I swatched this that I do think something has been done from the shimmer formula of the Beauty Bay palette, because the last Beauty Bay palette that I bought has been the Rich palette, which was their like permanent line palettes they released last year, which has the like 3 different sort of editions. The one where they have a 9 pan, a 16 pan, and then a 42 pan. And compared to the shimmers in that one, this seems to have a bit more like almost a bit slippery shimmers, so I'm a bit curious to see like, well I hope they won't crease, but let's go on with a full-on pink look today. So let's go with this one. So this is the After Party shade over here, and I'm actually gonna, I'm not sure how my camera is focusing, but that is how it's looking on my finger. And we will just like put this all over the, yeah, that's a very, yeah, that's beautiful. I'm liking this. I am liking this a lot. It is feeling this more sort of a very creamy shade, so I don't think that if If you want to apply this with a brush, I don't know, because I do know that some people don't like beauty base shimmers, and I think it's a valid opinion that if you have a small eye shape, then I know a lot of people then would like prefer to use brushes to their shimmers, but I luckily have enough lid space, so for me using fingers isn't an issue. But just so you're aware that if you're a brush user, then these shimmers might not pick up on the brush as well. But yeah, that's actually quite, yeah. So far I am liking all of the shades that I've tried. I will now clean up the side of this eye with concealer, and I will do the other eye. And next, we actually do have a new mascara to test out today, so that will be the next eye product we will be seeing. So the eyeshadow is on, and then we can move to mascara. So we have a new one we're testing out today, and so this is the... what was the name of it? So this is the Maybelline Fireworks mascara, and this was their sort of new, I think this is actually their the newest mascara they have on the market, and this is in the bright pink packaging, and I will first show that wand. So just my first impressions maybe about the wand, this isn't my preferred wand shape, I mean, because it is this almost straight shape. I am quite having concerns about how this how easy it is going to be spread out product evenly, because I have had this kind of mascaras before, and I felt that they were quite hard to work with my particular eye shape. But let's give it a try. I will give this credit for it has plastic bristles, but these aren't the kind of bristles that will sting are so sharp that it will sting to your eyes, unlike the couple of other shoe mascaras that I have been trying out lately. But let's, again, same thing, apply to the one eye so you can see the kind of difference, and I can get my first impressions how I like this one. This is always very awkward to put mascara on camera. And first impression, this feels like a water formula compared to the other. What's the name of it? Lash extensions or what? It wasn't the bright. Sorry, not bright. The light blue tube that had the sort of purple accent to it that I actually did rank as one of the better mascaras I tried as a new mascara last year. But this formula definitely feels wetter compared to that one, because that one certainly had already quite of a dry formula when I opened the tube. But this one is actually, I think, giving out quite impressive length, and also I do think the volume is also building up quite nicely. It is a bit difficult, as I predicted. It is a bit difficult to get separation with the wand shape, but that's how it is. So this is how it's looking after the first coat, and let's now try a second one and see how it builds up. I think that if you don't like a clumping mascara, then this isn't for you, because yeah, now when I'm actually trying to build it up on top of the first layer, it is really starting to clump out, and the wand shape isn't exactly ideal for spreading, getting the mascara to spread evenly. But it certainly is getting me the volume that I was kind of missing with the two other, the Essence and the L'Oreal mascara that have been the previous two ones that I have tried. But yeah. Okay, so this is how it's looking after two coats. I will have to I have a lash comb in my sort of brush bag, and I will do a bit of separating the mascara, because it is for example, now you won't probably see it because it's quite far away from the camera, but from the outer corner it is quite clumped to few lashes, and yeah, so I'd say overall together first impressions about this one, I think if you like a clumping or lumizing mascara that has a more wetter formula, this is actually, I would actually give this one a go. But if you want a mascara that separates your lashes and you like a drier formula, then this isn't going to be for you. And the one shade, as I said, because it is just this kind of straight out bristle wand, like plastic bristle wand, unfortunately with this one it is quite difficult to separate lashes, and I think that if I would have a smaller eye shape, this would also be pretty difficult to use because the wand is quite thick. It's not the thickest of the mascara ones that I have tried, but I think for a smaller eye shape I wouldn't also like recommend this one. But I will now, before this dries down completely, I will get the lash comb to separate this one, then I will do again the other eye off camera so you will see the like full results. But altogether I am kind of like, I will see how I will like this, because this is definitely like giving the volume that I have been missing, and it is also building up quite quickly, so I will give this one credit for the fact that it does actually build on itself and you don't have to do like different kind of tricks for it to build. So that's like a good, like something good about this one. But yeah, I will have to keep testing this out before giving it a final review. So the lashes are on. You can see now how the mascara is looking on both eyes, but let's now move on to the cheeks. And with cheeks we actually do have some relatively new products. I actually think that the last two of these are quite new. So first to the contour and blush, and these will be from the same brand. So I'll get them on color. So W7 came out recently. I think this is now their like try on the sort of liquid blush and liquid contour trend, and I think these are the similar packaging that I think has it been like, I think it's Shein's own makeup brand Gleam that has made this packaging quite popular, and other drugstore brands have like not copied, but have like made similar ones. And also, but I do think the original brand that made this kind of packaging popular was Lancome, who originally had a sort of liquid blush in this type of packaging. But we all know that I wasn't a fan of the Revolution Pro Contour wand in terms of the shade. However, based on swatch, at least this W7 shade is looking much more promising, which also seen when I applied it to cheeks. And the shade that I am trying is the shade Shadow, and I think this is the like the cool tone one. And let's get now a sort of a liquid product blush, and with this one I will actually do so that I will just put this straight to my cheeks, because I do think that at least based on the swatch this felt thin enough that I don't have to like go through applying through my palm. And let's apply 3 dots over. Yeah, I think it is bits on the. This is something that I actually do have to maybe build a little bit. Okay, let's try the other side then. It is maybe on the more buildable side in terms of. Like, it is definitely like blending out, which is a good thing if you have a for example, fair skin like I do, but then there's also the limit that is it too like, because you also don't want the product to be something that just blends away. But I do think the shade match is pretty good. Let's then do the nose contour, which I am not a huge fan of, but for the sake of experimenting, and I'm going to be using a different brush to this one, but I have no idea is it actually doing anything, but we gave it a try. And then let's do it under the chin. I have to actually watch out because I do have a quite high color. Actually, for the under the chin contour, because with some contour products I have had the issue that while on cheeks they are actually quite good, but under the chin it has been like a bit too much. Maybe too much of a contrast, but actually this is because it is quite blendable. It's actually doing pretty. I will I used the same brush I used my foundation today to sort of make it blend in a bit more. Okay, I am liking the shade. I am a bit on the fence that is it showing up. I will be seeing this when I will be editing sort of the material, because if you always wonder why I can't see why I can't say how it's looking, because I have to wear glasses for seeing, and I don't want to like go on buying like one time wear contacts because that would be expensive, so I can't actually see quite well what's happening in the monitor side of things. But I do like the shade of this. It is very blendable. I will be getting back to you, is it like almost too blendable, but at least in terms of shade match, this is like much better than the Revolution Pro contouring product I had recently. This is actually like I think the perfect shade matte. It's just on the side of being cool toned, however this isn't like also completely grey, so that's a good thing. Then let's get to the blush shade. So same sort of line of product, and this is in the shade Lustful. Yeah. And I think with this one, because this is a quite sheer formula, we will do the same, that we will dab it directly to the cheeks, because this obviously isn't something that you have to like be too afraid of. So I think if you're looking for at least a blendable, like a blendable contour and liquid blush, then these could be a good option. And then the blush is not fitting my eyeshadow today, because the eyeshadow is cool tone and the blush is actually quite warm tone, but oh well. I do think the blush shade is actually quite, I mean there's pigment there, but it is blending nicely. But let's put because with the Profusion ones that were actually in a very similar packaging, we had the issue that I had to build and build for the shade to show up, but this I do think that the shade already showed up. So I am liking the blush. I would say that this dries down more to a like a matte rather than a more sort of a glowier flush finish. But so just that if you're wondering of buying these then and thinking what's the finish is like, then it is I think it's definitely drying down quite matte. But it is still blending in. It is like, I think this is actually, I am liking the blush formula quite a lot, because I do feel that it is in the, like you don't need to build and build and build it, but there is some, you can like still start out slow if you're someone who only like wants to wear one layer of this. But yeah, this is very, so I think winners so far, aside from the Beauty Bay palette that I did say that was working as good as all the other Beauty Bay palettes that I have, I do think that the blush is also a winner. Winner from the first impressions. So first impressions about these two products, very like easy to blend formula, blends into your skin. If you have a medium to tan or to a deep skin tone, then I don't know how are you able to use this, but at least fair to light skin, these are actually quite like good products, and very easy to work with, so something I would also recommend to beginners. However, at least with the blush, I felt that with the Profusion blushes, as I said, that were in a similar packaging, I felt that with those ones you had to do a lot of building. With this one, I think there was just it was in the good, like it was just in the good spot that with the first layer you can get like a bit more natural finish, but with the second layer you can really get this to show up. The contour product I will have to keep using, at least for the sort of under chin contour. I did feel that this was actually quite good because it blended in and didn't leave like harsh looking immediate lines, but for the cheeks and nose I was a bit on the fence that was this showing up, but I will have to like keep trying and seeing it in different kind of lights to make the judgment. Now the last sort of cheek product, and we actually do have another liquid highlighter. So this Makeup Revolution's version of the Charlotte Tilbury's Flawless Filter Dupe has these arrived in our Revolution retailers a few weeks ago, and this is in the shade Gleam Light. I am a bit worried because this is quite yellow, leaning how this is going to look. And this is in the sort of doe foot applicator, and I do have to say that for my purposes, because I use only these for liquid highlighting, I don't use these as an under the base makeup products. This is quite a lot of product in here, so just if you're wondering, I do. If you're using this for an under the sort of makeup, like a foundation product, then I think it's quite good to have this type of packaging, but for purely for liquid highlighting, this is quite big. But let's now just do it over here like we would do. And as always with liquid highlighters, I will be using a sponge to spread this out, and most likely we will have to go to layers because the sponge will take some of the product away. Okay, I am not liking the yellow base shade that this has, because it is kinda not spraying. Let's put it to the other side, because that side doesn't have such a harsh lighting condition, so I will maybe be able to better make a judgment, because this is not unlike with some of the other highlighting products that we have been seeing on my channel lately. This is perhaps not. I have some concerns. Okay, I think with this one there might be a few things why I'm not loving it so much. First of all, the fact that it has quite a strong yellow base, even the shade that's meant for like I think light and fair skin tones, so that's just but that's an undertone thing. So for someone like me, because I have a rosy school undertone, this might not be suitable because of the undertone of it, but if you have an undertone that sort of goes with this kind of like yellow base shade, then this could be perfect. However, what I am noticing that this has, I recently had my makeup review video where I reviewed the sort of essence. I actually have the bottle here because we are doing a whole video after this. So compared to the essence one, I said this works perfectly for me as a liquid highlighter because it has enough of a metallic base to it. And with this one, I'm afraid that it has a bit more sheerer base to it. Now that isn't necessarily bad, especially if you're using this, like mixing this in with your foundation and other base products, because for that purpose it could be great. But as an highlighter, I feel that this suffers a bit from the same issues that other liquid highlighters that I haven't been liking, is that because it doesn't have enough base to it, the sort of shimmer particles that are mixed in, they kind of like getting it sort of an even layer and not making it look patchy requires a bit of work. I will keep testing this out because this isn't like directly a product that I feel that I absolutely cannot use, but I want to test this out the full few weeks that I will have this in my rotation and then make the final conclusion that do I want to keep this on. But as I said, it could also be not just like the formula, the undertone of this is definitely not right for me because this has such a strong yellow base and it doesn't go with my particular skin tone, but with some other skin tone this could be perfect. But I think that like from cheek products, maybe the blush from W7 was perhaps the winner. The other two products, the W7 Contour and the Makeup Revolution like liquid highlighter, we will have to keep testing those out. Next we will move to the lip products. There are a few that I will try and then we will sort of get to the final conclusions of this sort of first impressions video. Okay, so lips. The other lip product is already on because we all know that I don't like doing lips on camera because that's just, well, it's almost as awkward as doing mascara. But for the lip stuffer, we are actually having a new lip liner, and this is the MUA sort of lip liner in the, I think this was their like classic edition or something, because this is in different packaging than their sort of original lip liners. And the shade of this, the shade is classic, but what was the... Yeah, so Nude edition was the line of these lip liners, and this is in the shade Classic, and it's already on my lips because we are having I actually used it all over my lips because we are trying out a lip gloss today. But I think this is very on par with the other the other MUA lip liner that I have in their original format. However, I do think this is a bit maybe creamier than the sort of, because other lip liner I have from them. Because I think I sort of said in one of my videos last year that what I do appreciate that if you're looking for a more like harder not so creamy lip liner from drugstore, I would recommend the MUA lip liners, but this one, this nude edition, or at least the classic shade that I have it in, feels that this is a bit more like softer, so it's just something to consider. Okay, so the other new lip product we're trying, this isn't by Nude, this is actually, I think, quite of an old product by now. So this is by Beauty Base Lip Gloss. This has been hanging out in my drawers for years, and I actually did open the tube before like filming because I had to make sure that this hasn't expired or dried out. And I think the lip glosses are one of the like few original products they originally released aside from their palette, so these are like an OG product from the brand, and maybe I can actually now just put it on my lips. The shade I have this in is Ballet, so it's quite of a nude cool tone shade. And this is not going with the lip liner, this is actually too. Okay, we will ignore this is I think this is a bit more like brownish yellow leaning compared to a lip liner, which was more of a reddish neutral color, but how should I? Okay, so that's the gloss on. How should I describe this? These have a nice vanilla scent to them, I will give it that, but first of all, I don't like the applicator. So this has one of the applicators. First of all, it's not a big dough, it's not this sort of big dough food, but it's this quite small, like traditional, I think the applicators we used to see from like the first lip glosses. But with this one, it is quite, I did feel that I had to go again to the tube to get some product out of it, and the formula, it feels nice, but it did go on lips kind of streaky. It could be like the lip liner that I used underneath, like I will keep trying this out and see, but so far not. Perhaps I did like the MUA lip liner, but the Beauty Bay gloss so far not too impressed with this one, because I do feel that I have much better glosses in my collection, but it is feeling comfortable on the lips, and it's not feeling sticky or that my lips are sort of, that it's drying or something like that, just that I felt that the application wasn't exactly the smoothest process. But yeah, I think so far those were all the products that I was meant to try out today, and now we will get to the final conclusions of this first impressions video. So the hair is out and we can get to the conclusions of this first impression. So I think this was a bit of an 50-50 in terms of how I'm feeling about stuff. So from the eye products, I do say that at least now based on my first try, this Reckless Romance palette, I do believe this is still available. So if you're considering buying this, Beauty Bay does keep their limited edition palettes relatively long out in their website, but they don't keep them forever. So I would recommend that if you have liked the Beauty Bay formula before, and if you sort of want to get this palette, I would still recommend like getting it, because I do believe that maybe after summer this is probably something that's not going to be available. Based on the shades that I've tried, the mattes I think worked out as other mattes with Beauty Bay have worked. They are quite, they aren't like the most blendable and easiest formula, but they are also a formula that I do feel that is, if you like colorful shadows, or if you want to like try out new shades, I do think Beauty Bay formula is good for that, but they are still, you're able to work with them. I do like the shimmers, at least so far. The pink shimmer was very beautiful. More creamier shade, if you don't like creamy shades, for example, that they don't pick out with brushes, then I would avoid this one. But if you like Beauty Bay formula, you like this kind of color story, then I would recommend getting this, and with Beauty Bay you can almost always get a discount code with at least with their own product, so that's also something to consider. Then the mascara, so Maybelline mascara, as I said, so far seems that this is more of a clumpier mascara. I will keep testing this out. It had some pros, it had some cons, but I will have to keep testing this to see how I will feel about this at the end of the day. Then the cheek products, the winner was definitely this one, so the W7 blush, very like nice, just the kind of good kind of formula where it does allow some space to work with, but you are able to build it also relatively quickly if you like your blushes to have more of a punch. The contour shade, like I said, I will have to go and see this in different kind of lighting to see how it sort of shows up on different parts of my skin that I used it today, but at least in terms of how easy this is to work with, just as good as the blush. So I think something that I wasn't that a fan of, and as I said, I will have to keep trying this out, is the Makeup Revolution, the bright light liquid highlighter. But as I said, this could also be an undertone thing, that this kind of yellow, golden yellow highlighter isn't just suited for my skin undertone, but I will keep testing this out. Then I think from the lips, as I said, if you're looking for sort of new good neutral lip liner, the MUA Makeup Academy, this sort of nude edition lip liner, would recommend it. It is quite long, you get quite a lot of product, and these are very inexpensive if this is a brand that's easy accessible to you. As I said, compared to their sort of mainline lip liners that they have, these did feel a bit maybe like softer than they are. So if you don't like a super creamy lip liner, then maybe don't get this one. But if you like a creamy lip liner and you're looking for something inexpensive, then this is a good option. And then the Beauty Bay Gloss, I will keep testing this out, but so far perhaps not impressed in terms of the ease of application, and also, well, the shade is also maybe kind of something that's not exactly my primary shade, but if this would have been a good formula, I would not have minded the shade. But yeah, I will also keep testing this out. But yeah, some winners, some not so maybe winners, but this was only a first impression. I will be getting back with these products in a review video, collective review video later on. If you like this video, then push the like button, subscribe to this channel, and ring the bell button if you want to get notification from my future content. You can also find me on Instagram with the same nickname, Makeup Hedgehog. I hope I will be seeing you in another video soon. Bye bye!